Hello Greenfield families. Mr. Mestel and I are taking a little break from our PD Day to bring you your video newsletter update for October. And we'd like to start by wishing a happy Diwali to all of those who are celebrating this week. I'm happy to report that our student government is up and running, and they're the driving force behind Dress Like a Career Professional Day that was lots of fun last week. We're also organizing the Pet Care Drive, which goes until the November break. They've reminded our students that there are many organizations out there who are struggling to care for pets in their shelters, and so they're collecting items of need to support SCARS and EHS.
We have a number of clubs here in full swing, one of them being handball. We have a handball tournament coming up at Lillian Osborne School on November 19th. Choir is happening on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they are preparing for their performance at our Remembrance Day Assembly, which takes place on November the 10th. Outdoor Running Club has wrapped for the season, and Indoor Running Club will start in January. GTV is another one of our clubs, and that stands for Greenfield TV. They are producing our weekly announcements on Fridays. Some of our sixes have been trained as patrols, and they will begin patrolling on Tuesday, October 25th. More clubs will be announced in the coming weeks.
Thanks. This fall, Edmundston Public Schools is taking steps to learn more about students across our schools so that we can serve them better. Students in grade 4 to 12 will have the opportunity to tell us more about themselves by completing a brief student demographic survey. This new, confidential, and voluntary survey will collect additional identity-based data through a set of 5 questions asking students to describe themselves based on their racial identity and ethnicity, religious or spiritual affiliation, and gender identity. The division is communicating to all families about the survey through School Zone, and a letter from the superintendent to families and the video link is now posted on School Zone. So please take some time to familiarize yourself with the extended student demographic survey before our students go through that process starting on November 1st.
Halloween is right around the corner. On Monday, October 31st, students can come to school in their regular school clothes for a somewhat typical morning of learning. At the end of lunch recess, students will come back in to change into their costumes. Costumes should be respectful of gender and cultural appropriation and should be easy to change into. Weapons are to be avoided. A parade will take place at 1 o'clock, with parents and guardians positioned in the gym to be spectators of the parade. On Halloween, you may send a treat or a snack with your child for them to enjoy on their own or to share with their classmates.
We're looking forward to holding monthly assemblies with our students after not having been able to do so over the past couple of years. On Friday this week, on the 28th, our student government mayors will host the first assembly of the year and get us back into that assembly routine. After that, our Remembrance Day Assembly will take place on November 10th. In order to share these assemblies with our Greenfield families, we will be live streaming the events via Google Meet, and you'll be able to find the links for those events on School Zone.
Just a couple of parking reminders. Thanks to parents and guardians for your commitment to following the appropriate process when using the drop-off and pickup area. As a reminder, vehicles are to use the diagonal spaces if you need to leave your vehicle. When using the pull-through area, vehicles are to drive forward as far as possible before letting your passengers out. Please do not use the alley as a drop-off point, as the increased vehicle and foot traffic can pose a safety concern for our students. Thank you.
Thanks, Dyson. In terms of assessment, our first term progress reports will go out on December 2nd, and our first round of parent conferences will take place on November 23rd and 24th. Now, since that's still a while away, our staff will be sending out a very informal progress update at the end of this week. And this will give parents a very broad sense of how their child is doing so far. So if there's any tweaks, you still have time to see that happen before the end of the term. That will bring you up to speed on what's happening at school for the month of October. As always, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and thanks as always for your support.